Welcome back to Buying the Dip with your hosts, us. Today, we're going to talk about
Big tobacco.
uh, the
Dip.
the dip, the dip, and recession fears and things that we're doing in this time of depression and anxiety.
That's a
So,
good start.
yeah, it's good stuff. So obviously, like buying the dip is a good idea. Um, Trying not to be emotional and you know get out of stuff. Now is the time for opportunities. I think the next 2 or so years are going to be rough. They're going to be pretty much like flat or down, and I think that you just hold strong. If
Well,
you're
and
retiring in the next couple years, that kind of blows for you. But
This
I don't
might be
think
the wrong
anybody I
podcast
don't think
episode for
anybody that's
you.
ever clicked on a video of ours is over the age of 25. So
except
I think
except
we're safe.
Jerry. Jerry's our number one star viewer.
Jerry.
Yeah, we talk all the time. Don't worry about it, Ben.
Okay.
Um, I
Well,
think the important thing with buying consistently and not worrying about it is not getting sucked into FUD.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Because I saw a news article that was comparing um, this bubble that has burst to um, the Japanese stock market in the 80s. And they're like, oh, these graphs look similar.
Oh, and it's like we're gonna have 50 years of stagnation now.
Yeah,
Well, and not just Japan, but the US experienced some not hyperinflation, but some significant upticks in inflation.
It was way
So
worse than now.
yeah, but it's a similar type scenario where
yeah.
we
I'm
need to avoid the inflation snowballing out of control, and I think we're past the point of a soft landing. I think that they keep trying to say we're going to figure it out, but the longer we go and the
yeah.
longer we take to rip off a band-aid,
I
the
don't know.
harder the band-aid's going to hurt when they rip it off.
I don't know, Ben. I think it's gonna be a soft
You like that
landing.
analogy, Tim?
Yeah.
That makes no
They kept
sense.
no, that does make sense, kind of, maybe. Um, but they keep saying it'll be a soft landing, but they also kept saying it was transitory. So,
Well, they
um,
said it was transitory. Now they realize they got it wrong. So now the goal is to come in for a soft landing, but still getting on it right away. Compared to the 80s where they said, it's not a big deal. And it got up to 12% inflation before they just dove straight nosedive into a recession. I
well,
think it's going to be
in
better
the
than that this time.
80s, they also had win
Cocaine,
with
lots of
inflation
cocaine.
now, where the president just said, "Well, just stop buying things. That'll fix it."
Yeah.
Well, also the president now has said, I trust the Fed. I'm going to let the Fed do their thing, which is the most important thing the president can do because the Fed's job is to manage inflation, not the federal government. So I
Yeah.
think they're doing the right thing. I think it's not going to be so bad. I do think we're not like at the end. I'm not saying right now, bull market from here on out. I just don't think a recession, as far as the pain and suffering, the jobs lost, the people falling below the poverty line and really struggling, I don't think that is going to look as bad as recessions that we've seen in the past. Even if this is technically a recession, I think it's going to be a small one. But that's my own life theory about uh, the economy. We'll see how it goes.
All I'm saying, and I'm trying not to be a doomsday prepper here, but
Um, and
I recommend learning how to cook dried beans and getting
Mm.
really good at cooking dried beans and having a
Remember,
stockpile of beans.
unless
whenever
there's soybeans, you got to add the rice. Now you got complete protein. You can survive on beans and rice indefinitely.
I have a
whenever
cabinet
I
that's
make
almost full of rice and beans right now, just dried rice and beans.
whenever I make beans, it makes my fridge smell bad.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I just don't eat them quickly enough. But
Yeah, I
like,
don't think, or maybe you just don't cook them well.
Am I supposed to cook them longer?
You gotta get the right seasonings, Tim.
Yeah, aromatics.
Yeah.
Aromatics.
No, my fridge just smelled like a booty earlier this week because of some beans in there.
Because they
You
were
gotta
old
do a
or
better
because
job
they
cooking
were
beans.
just
I guess
beans?
so. But back to the whole don't listen to the FUD thing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
People comparing it to the Japanese stock market when like even in the 2008 crash that we had, the peak of the PE for the S&P 500 was above 65 for the average for the whole index.
Right.
Currently it's at 20, which is
Good.
still like kind of high compared to like historical averages, but for the past 30 years that's pretty on par. So I don't think you have to just keep buying like
Well, and I think that is a good point. Do keep buying because
yeah.
when you're buying the dip, it doesn't mean you wait for the bottom and buy then
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know when the bottom's going to be. So keep buying at regular intervals. Put a reasonable amount for you every month or every 2 weeks, every paycheck, and that's the best thing you can do right now. If you've got time before you retire, you'll
The
be fine.
expectation going in, the money you're investing today is going to be down at least 10% by the end of the year. That's sort of my own mental note that I'm making.
Right.
But
That's
I
how
don't need that money.
people take advantage of opportunities.
Stocks are on sale.
All right,
Big summer
well,
blowout.
stay ever vigilant and make sure to submit your favorite bean recipe in the description below.
Joey got big.